and day 4. Hey. Right. Yeah, try and don't try. And the president for no to new. Prof. I have to try no more. What's that here? Right, you welcome to our channel. This is TV UCC. My name is Louise Bequin. You can always call me the PDF. And of course, I welcome you to the day 4 of the SRC vetting. I must modify it. This is UCC SRC vetting. And today, the vetting committee would be vetting students who have picked nomination forms to contest for the position of SRC president. And we would be vetting 5 teams. Over here, it's not about parties. We call it teams. So 5 teams today, both in the morning and the afternoon session. And as usual, you can keep your messages coming. Let's make it interactive. Share your thought with us at the comment section. And of course, that would prompt us that you're part of us. We would highly appreciate your time. But just before we start, if you have not subscribed to our channel, this is the time. Within 2 seconds, you can do this. Subscribe to our channel, hit on the notification icon, and of course, share the content for the world to get to know what we are doing here. The chairman for the vetting committee is ready, and so I'm not going to spend my time here. But if you find yourself around the campus of University of Cape Coast, quick one, you can join us. We are transmitting live from the J. Nano Opoku Agyeman Auditorium at the Amisi Arthur Language Center of University of Cape Coast. Professor Samuel Essien Beidu. Prof, good morning.
Good morning, PDF.
A final day for the vetting.
Yeah.
Yes, and we thank God for how far that He has brought us. Would there be any party?
Hoping so.
I see the members in white.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long period. You know, we started this, and then we had to truncate the process after the first day. And then, thankfully, and God willing, today is the last day. We're hoping that we'll have one of the best editions of the vetting. We're hoping to have a party afterwards.
Oh, okay. And I believe I can join.
You're always welcome. You know that.
Then I have one song for Professor Mrs. Rebecca Demensa today. I'll do that. But, Prof, you can take over.
Thank you very much. We're live inside the Jenana Opoku Agyeman Auditorium. This is the day 4 of the vetting of nominees for the position of SRC President. And this is happening live inside the Jenana Opoku Agyeman Auditorium. As many of you as can join us, we invite you to join us in the auditorium. We'll have 2 sessions today. We'll have a morning session. We'll have an afternoon session. After the morning session, we'll take a short break, and then we'll reconvene in the afternoon. We're hoping to leave here latest by 6 p.m. today. Today, as I mentioned earlier on, we're exclusively going to be vetting nominees for the positions of SRC President. As we always do, we'll interview the president and then the vice. We'll take time to go through a number of questions with them. If you are able to join us in the auditorium, we want to entreat you that you keep your phone on silent, and then you also do not murmur or whisper the answers to the questions that will be asked. If you do so, we may not have any option than to disqualify the candidate. We also would want to entreat as many people as can join us online to do so. If you haven't subscribed to TV UCC, it's just a click of a button, subscribe, and make sure you share. And you also post on your statuses and invite other people to also like the program and join the program. So if the first candidate is ready, let us invite them. You're welcome. Please take your seat. Great. You're welcome.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
All right. So let me be a bit biased. Ladies first. My lady, I like the way you are smiling for the cameras.
Thank
It's
you,
good.
Chair.
So tell us your name, your registration number.
My name is Lydia Mamile Nyungotete. I'm in level 300, reading BSc Nursing. I bear the registration number SNNUS 200067. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. And then my gentleman, I
The
like
chair.
your combination outfit. When we are done, I'll ask you the inspiration behind it.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Alexander Osei. I'm reading Bachelor of Education, Mathematics and Accounting with the index number ET-MAT 210113.
Thank you very much, Alexander. So you are both welcome. And I
Thank
want to believe that you are here because you filed nominations to become SRC President and Vice. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Okay. Kindly pay attention, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, as usual, there's a bottle of water in front of you. In case you want to take a sip, you can do that. Yes. And then at any point in time, if you feel that we need to take a break, you let us know. We'll take a break and then we can continue. If we ask any question and it's not too clear, feel free to ask us to repeat the question so that you can get clarity before you provide your answers. Is that okay? There's a pen and a paper in front of you. Feel free and note down anything and take your time. Make sure that you understand the question clearly before you answer. We may not be able to repeat the question for more than 2 times. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes. Yes,
And
the
please, because you are live on TV UCC and on ATL 100.5, I would encourage you to keep that smile so that at least the University of Cape Coast community can appreciate you and then also speak audibly so that those who are listening to us online and those in the auditorium can also hear you very well. Is that okay?
Yes, the
All right.
chair.
So I wish you all the best and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you, Chair.
You are looking good.
Thank you.
I thought you would tell me I'm also looking good.
You are looking awesome, Chair.
So just relax and then let's have a chat. Okay. So I think I'll start with your CVs. Okay. I think what you sought to do was to have a colored CV, but I don't think it worked well. You have 3 different colors, and it looks very clumsy. So in future, just stick to the black. And it was as if you are afraid of the spaces. You didn't want to use too many papers or something. Everything is really cramped there. Have you been watching the vetting we've been having? Have you been watching?
Yes, please, Chair.
I mean the previous years. Have you been watching?
Yes, the
So
chair.
you've heard me talk about CVs over and over again.
Yes.
And so I thought you would take a cue from that. Because it's not looking good. It's not looking as good as you are looking. It's not good. You are the first candidate, so I'm trying to choose my words carefully. But it is not good. I wish you came in the afternoon. It is bad. The title is another color. The address is somewhere. Then I don't know whether I think you sought to write your personal details somewhere, but I don't know.
Okay.
So in fact, I'm even finding it difficult to. So you have your summary, your experience, and then your skills somewhere. Anyway,
Before
let's
you,
con-
before, Why did you decide to put the skills on the right?
Thank you, the chair. Respectfully, that is the template that we were actually using. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's a template, but you can adopt so many things. You should adopt the best. This template is a no for me at all. So if you ask me to score for your CV, I'll give you a 0. Because
Okay.
you have a bigger column to the left and then a much smaller column to the right. So you have your summary experience and then your details on the left, and then on the right on the same page you have your address and then you have your skills. And it looks so clumsy. It looks so clumsy. If you go to the next page, it's even worse because the alignment is not properly done. If you look at where you have your hobby, your interest, awards, and honors, the spacing there is so small compared to what you had on the previous page. And the alignment too is terrible. Yes, nobody is saying that you should not adopt a template, but you adopt good templates. This one, for me, is a no-no.
We apologize for that,
There's no need.
and appropriate correction will be done.
well, so walk us through your experience. Let's see what you've done so far.
Okay.
Your experiences, please.
Okay.
Oh, the president. You. You
Okay.
first, yeah.
Thank you, the chair. Respectfully, I started my education at procurement DHHS, where I was the boys prefect from there. And then I proceeded to senior high school, where I served on Pensa. Okay. All right. And then I proceeded to University of Cape Coast, where I serve as marketing and publicity committee member for University of Cape Coast Association of Business Students. And then from there I became chaplain for University of Cape Coast Association of Business Students. I've also served as a coordinator for Pentecost students and associates. And then also as the head of the Students' Academic Affairs under SRC. Respectfully, the chair.
Are you a postgraduate student?
Okay, no, please. I'm undergrad.
So you said you did Bachelor of Commerce Accounting.
Yes, please.
You completed which year?
2021.
And now you are reading which course?
Bachelor of Education, Mathematics.
Why is that?
Okay.
Because I would have thought that you've already done a first degree, so you do a postgraduate course, but you are doing another first degree. Is it because you want to become the SRC president?
Thank you, the chair. Having done the Bachelor of Commerce Accounting option, I was also having an interest in doing mathematics education, to be precise. So I deem it so befitting that whilst I'm working on my professional courses under the Bachelor of Commerce Accounting, I proceed with the mathematics education that I so wish and desire also to pursue. So that is the reason why I decided to take that field also. Thank you, the chair.
You're also reading Bachelor of Law.
Yes, the chair.
So how do you combine your Bachelor of Accounting, of Education, Marketing and Accounting with the Bachelor of Law? Since I think you started this year in February.
Yes, the chair.
How are you combining?
Okay. The chair, there's one thing that I believe, and that is the fact that with proper planning, whatsoever we so wish to achieve, we will be able to achieve. When I was doing my first degree in Bachelor of Commerce Accounting option, in those days, I was involved in a lot of activities. And then I realized that I'm capable of juggling between multi-tasks at once. So having finished with the first one, and then I also have an interest in the law and then the education, I sat down and then thought through, and I realized that if I choose one weekend course, I will be able to do it. And then if I choose one regular, I'll be able to do it. So I decided to go for the one weekend and then one regular.
So that is a weekend course.
Yes, please.
What class did you graduate with when you did the BCom program?
I
Bachelor
had
of Commerce.
3.
No, is it a
If my
which class?
yes, please. I'm trying to. If my memory could set me right, I think upper.
Are you sure? Or that's just 2 years ago.
Yes, please.
So was it or was it not?
Upper.
Mr. Say,
Because I was first class. That is why it is confusing me a little bit. I was first class. So I think the latter part. Upper.
relax. I said you should lean back. So lean back. You are coming too close to the mic. It's giving us too much feedback. You seem to be confused. Yeah? There's no way you go to school, finish, get a certificate, and then you struggle to remember the class you finished with. Did you attend the graduation?
Sure.
Do you have a certificate?
Yes, please.
You took your certificate,
Yes, please.
and you're not sure whether you finished it
Please,
first
my
class or-
memory has now set me right.
Your memory has now set you
Yes,
right.
please. I'm very sorry for that.
No, that's okay. You don't need to apologize. I just need your memory to be sharp so that we can go through the rest. Okay?
Thank you.
You were volunteering for, you were teaching people online principles of microeconomics. Which people were they? You were doing that for economics, you were doing that for financial reporting, and also English language. Which people were these?
Okay. My target group was actually on those who are willing to pursue economics to a higher level. So I picked economics as a course from the second cycle education.
You know which category of students? They were undergraduate students, they were postgraduates, they were JHS people. Just go straight to the point.
Okay, the chair. Thank you, the chair. That's why I'm saying that I like it's a combination, SS, and then the tertiary education, to be precise.
Because you put it there and you didn't even tell us which people you were teaching. And because your thing is clumsy, I'm struggling. I'm going back and forth to find out what you have done. So just try to go straight to the point for me. You were in the finance committee, and then you were also in the publicity, marketing and publicity committee.
Yes, please. For school
UCAPS
business.
and VALCO, respectively. Can you tell us what you did, please?
Under UCAPS, I was a member. I served on the marketing and publicity committee for 2 years, 2 consecutive years. And over there, we were assisting the PRO on the dissemination of information. Sometimes when the association so wishes to organize a program or a seminar, the leaders or the executives actually call us on board and then explain what they so wish to organize. And they leave the information at our homes and caprices for us to disseminate them in their various classes. And then the VALCO or Finance Committee, I was assisting the treasurer, the whole treasurer, in the execution of his functions. Thank you, the chair.
As the head of academic affairs, what new did you do? Did you bring any innovation? Something you can point to? You were the head of student academic affairs at the SRC.
Sure.
Yeah. So what did you do that you can boast of or can be attributed to you?
Thank you, Prof. Chair. In our time, I quite remember economics was one of the, let me say, the worrisome or the burdensome course. though we have the prerequisite, or let me say the required people or the resource to handle them. But the students also, one way or the other, needed a friendlier hand in it. So we push it to the SRC level, and then we deem it so befitting to organize tutorial for the economic students. So that was one of the remarkable innovative approach that we introduced in SRC, and it has lasted up to date.
How did you become the accounts officer if you were a student in 2021?
I must admit that it is NSS rather, but not account officer. Respectfully, I'm sorry.
You have to state. Okay.
You don't need to apologize for the things you have written.
Okay.
So we only need you to admit and explain so we can make progress. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
We are not here to judge you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
We
you.
want
Chair.
to get clarity from what you have indicated. So explain to us when you have to. If it's an error, let us know that it's an error without apologizing, please.
Thank you, the chair.
Because I am also interested in that accounts officer, October 2021 to October 2022. Were you appointed as an accounts officer?
Thank you, the chair. That wasn't that. So like I was saying, I was NSS personnel there
So you had your national service
at code
at the accounts office.
office. Yes, please.
Yes, but you're not the account officer.
Sure.
So this is very misleading. So you need to go and work on it.
So I can see you are a very busy person, and I'm wondering how you can manage the role of SRC president with all the things you are juggling with. I think you can't do it. What do you say to that?
Thank you, Prof. Chair. Okay. Like when I started earlier, I said that all my life I have trained myself to be a multi-purpose person. That is why every field that I enter, though I am entangled with a lot of activities and a lot of leadership roles or responsibilities, however, whatsoever is being entrusted to me, I make sure that I handle them in good hands. I believe and I know, based on my potential and innate characteristics, that I will be able to handle the SRC office.
What is the role of the SRC office?
The SRC president.
Yes.
Yes, please.
What is the role of the SRC president?
Okay. SRC president, he is the head of the student representative council, and then he stands in to represent the students at the university council level, and also to make sure that the concerns of the students are being presented to the appropriate authority. Yes, please.
Just that.
Okay. He is also the signatory to SRC account. He also makes sure that policies of the SRC are being fostered and then are also achieved. So he is the head who is fostering the front line of the students together with the executive council or the executive committee.
How did you meet Mamle?
Okay. Thank you, the chair. It's one question that I must deem it, let me say, respectful to answer it well. I got to know my vice not long ago. I think it's about 3 months ago. And then I got to know her through my mentors. So I was having a discussion with my mentor, and I realized that the one who is mentoring me is the same person who is mentoring her. So when I saw her, I asked for my mentor, and then my mentor said that he's the one who is actually mentoring her. So I put it across him that will it be appropriate for me to talk to her? By then I had not informed my mentor what I actually want to move for. So when I told him, he said, okay, fine. So he gave me the permission, and then I called her, and then I sat with her. When I sat with her, I realized that she too has an interest in serving students. However, none of us is useful until opportunity is being given.
So you met her through your mentor.
Yes, please.
Are you in a relationship?
The two of us?
Yes.
No, please.
Okay. I see that she will be a pushover. You are too strong for her. As a vice president, she will do close to nothing because you do everything. That's what I see.
Thank you, the chair. Like I earlier said, I believe that none of us is useful until opportunity is being given. Sometimes some are weak, they play supportive role. But I believe that if we decide to leave everything in the hands of those who are strong, how would the weak ones also become strong?
So she's weak. You are confirming what I just said.
Respectfully, I'm trying to bring out something before I add up what I want to say.
If you continue like that, we won't go today. So you have to go straight to the point.
Okay. Then respectfully, she is not weak. Yes, I have known her to be a very strong woman who always even prompts me on certain things.
In 3 months.
Yes, please.
You think you've known her in 3 months? You've known her very well in 3 months.
The chair, we are very close.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Lydia.
Prof. Chair.
Yes. Before we come to you, Lydia, Alexander, as I indicated, I am not happy at all with your CV. You indicate that you communicate, you have skills in communication and social, you've written skills, communication and social skills. Is that correct?
Sorry,
Your skill set, as part of your skill set,
Okay.
you've indicated communication and social skills.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Then you've also indicated good oral written. What is that?
The communication and the social.
No, I'm not asking about communication and
Okay,
social
sorry.
skills. Good oral written.
Okay. Sorry, the chair. If I may understand you well, are you actually asking me to explain?
I am reading from your CV under skills.
Yes, please.
You have listed a number of things. So cost reduction options, regulatory filings, and compliance.
Sure. The chair, please, I understand that portion, but
Yes. And then one of your skills that you have indicated is good oral written.
okay.
I want you to tell us what that means.
Okay. Thank you, the chair. The good oral written is about the written aspects of my life. Yes, please. When I'm having a conversation or probably if I'm having a meeting with someone, I'm able to write at the same time, pay attention to what.
Do you understand what you have written? How is that a skill? You say you under skills, and then you've written good oral written.
Sure. It is
Good oral written what? What is that skill supposed to mean?
okay, thank you, the chair. It is a skill in the sense that it's not everyone who is able to write detail when you are having a meeting, or someone who is able to pay attention and at the same time jot down something. So I've trained up myself.
Young man, take your pen and paper. Write good. Write. Oral. Written. This is what you have written.
Okay.
Good oral written. What does it mean?
Okay. I must admit. Yes,
What
And
are you
and-
admitting?
please. Okay. The chair, the portion that I'm actually admitting to is the grammar.
So
The
what
construction.
is the correct one?
Okay, writing skills. Good writing skills.
Good writing skills.
Yes, please.
But your writing skills in your CV is terrible. Hmm? And then you've indicated Microsoft Office Suite as one of your skills. How is that a skill?
Okay. Thank you, the chair. The Microsoft Suite, specifically when it comes to our field, accountancy, getting to know how Microsoft Suite works is another, let me say, is a plus. So I devoted myself to learn the skills in handling Microsoft Suite.
What does a Microsoft Suite entail?
Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Access.
Okay. So I presume you're very good at Microsoft Word.
Yes, please.
Okay. So when on the menu, where you have referencing or references, mention 2 tabs that you find under the references and what they are used for.
The referencing aspect.
Yes.
We get
You know where to locate references on the menu bar.
the toolbar or the tax bar. I'm trying to locate it because the chair come again with the question because
Where can you locate references on the menu bar?
Okay, some of the things that falls under the referencing are the bulletin.
Mm-hmm.
The bulletin, the line spacing.
No, that is not correct. Bulletin, line spacing, all of that comes under the home button. So it's part of the displays that the tools that you find under the home button. You find your font size, your font style.
Respectfully, I stand to be corrected.
Towards the middle, you have your line spacing options, the bulletin options, all those things. They are part of the home menu. So those are tools that are under the home menu. But if you move from home, you go to edit, you go to view and the likes, then you go to references. When you click on that, the tools under that changes.
Sure.
When you click on references, the tools change. I want you said you have skills, you're proficient in that. So just give me 2 of the tools that you see under the references and then what they are used for. If you cannot remember, let's make progress.
Yes, please.
Let's make progress.
Thank you.
Now, again, I see that you have interest in motivational messages and financial independence messages. What the second one, financial independence messages, what are they? Are they also motivational messages or they are a unique class of messages?
Okay. Thank you, the chair. They are also motivational messages.
They are motivational messages?
Yes, please.
So why did you decide to separate them? You want your CV to be unnecessarily long? You have interest in motivational messages, but specifically financial independence messages.
Okay.
Is that the case?
The chair, can I talk, please? Okay. Respectfully, the financial motivational messages, that one, personally, I see that one to be a little bit different from the motivational message. The motivational messages is about the social life. And then the financial independence one is purposely on the entrepreneurship, how to come up with business ideas, how to finance.
That is not social.
Okay.
Is that also not social?
No, I don't see that one to be social, respectfully.
So which ones are the social ones? Give me examples.
Okay. The social one, I see them to be about relationship, how to build your interpersonal skills, like how when you meet people, you are supposed to talk to them. Also leadership skills, and then, but the financial one is one way or the other geared towards financial literacy. Let me say financial independence.
See.
Respectfully.
That's interesting. And then you said you voted 2 books. You voted 2 books. You are an author of 2 books.
Yes,
Principles
the
of Macroeconomics and Principles of Microeconomics.
Yes, the chair.
What level are these books? Or what is the intended level of these books? Is it for the secondary school, for the university, or what?
Okay, the intended level is for the beginners in econs, the elementaries, those who are now starting economics.
So
So
secondary
it
school.
could be, yes, it could be SHS students who are now starting it, or tertiary students who have never done it before and then they are now starting it, elementary.
Are the books published?
The books,
Yes.
yes, please.
Which publishing house?
The publishing house,
Yes.
very good. Amwakwanta Printing Press,
Amakwanta Printing Press.
yes, please.
Where are they located?
Kumasi,
Kumasi. So are they registered?
yes, please.
So when we go online, we can find these books.
Okay, I have actually not uploaded it, but the ISBN, that one, it has been given to me. So I think when you use ISBN also, you'll be able to retrieve it.
So we can use the ISBN to track it. Okay. Yeah, I would want to read it because I want to understand economics.
Thank you, the chair.
I want to understand economics, so I would want to read it. Now, you also have indicated that you've been doing a lot of volunteer work.
Yes, the chair.
And your volunteer work has basically been online teaching, teaching of foundation of accounting and financial reporting, online teaching of English language. Is that correct?
Yes, the chair.
So do you agree if we say that you are too busy for such a portfolio?
I respect your comment, but I disagree with you.
Okay. All right. Now, take your pen and your paper.
Okay.
And then write a Gmail address, a typical Gmail email address. Write a typical Gmail address, so anything at gmail.com. You can create one. Even if you have one, you can use yours.
Okay. Yes.
You have done that.
Yes, please.
Are the letters in uppercase or lowercase?
I use lowercase.
There you use lowercase.
Yes, please.
But here in your CV, for someone who says that you have skills in writing, good writing skills, the email address you wrote is wrong.
I stand to be corrected, but respectfully, because I was using caps for that portion, that is why I deem it so respectful to use the caps. I stand to be corrected.
That is wrong, please. You are not using caps. That is wrong. The way you've written the email address is wrong. Because you wrote the other one correctly for the other referee. But for the second referee, you got it wrong. And for someone who is good at writing, who has skills in writing, I was expecting to see you correct that appropriately. Then you said you were awarded by your lecturers as being the excellent performer in financial reporting 1. Is that correct?
Yes, the chair.
When was this award given?
Recently, that was last month. think so.
Who presented the award?
Dr. Tvucc and then Mr. Emmanuel Ahin. Dr. James Tvucc and then Mr. Emmanuel Ahin.
So you were the best student for financial reporting. And you said that award was given when?
I think that,
2023.
yes, sir.
But I thought you were no longer studying in the School of Business.
I'm reading Bachelor of Education, Mathematics, and Accounting.
Okay. So it's maths and accounting.
Yes, the chair.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to you.
Thank you, the chair.
Alexander, before I move to Linda, I wanted to find out, do you intend to do a postgraduate studies?
Yes, the chair.
So why would you spend another 4 years doing an undergraduate study? I'm just surprised.
Okay. Thank you, the chair.
No long explanation. Very brief.
Okay. Briefly, I want 3 areas: education, the field of business, and then the legal field. However, I want to do the basis now, because when age catch up, I might not be able to come back and then stay. Okay. When age catch up, I might not be able to come back and then spend 4 years here. So once I'm around, that's why I have decided to build the basis, so that when I move outside, I can now build the individual or the respective areas.
Thank you. So, Linda, you started following your president. You copied his templates and the colors, and then page 1. Then when you got to page 2, you decided to change your mind. And when you change your mind, you didn't tell him you have changed your mind. So yours is bad, but his is worse. So walk us through your experience.
Thank you, Prof. Chair. I believe that I'm a...
Did you hear the question? Take your time, Boko. You've gathered some experience. You want to drink water. You were sitting there, you didn't drink water. Mamli, drink all and let's give you another one. Please, help her to open the... President, when you were drinking, you should have given her some to drink. Are you okay?
Yes.
Are you
please.
sure?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
sure. Okay. So, tell me about some of the experiences you have gained in your lifetime.
Okay. Mommy, please. I started my basic education at Woodbridge International School in Takrady, where I was the health prefect.
You were the...
Health prefect.
Okay.
And then I proceeded to Secondary College in Secondary in 2016 to 2019. In
2016 to...
2019. From 2018 to 2019, I became the dispensary prefect, coupled with the vice president of the adolescent health club. I gained experiences like respect, teamwork, responsibility, and responsibility. After school in 2019, I did a volunteering work with the Electoral Commission. I started volunteering with the Electoral Commission, where I started in 2019 during the district assembly elections as a ballot issuer. Then in 2022, in June, I became a registration officer with the Electoral Commission. During September, they had an exhibition where voters were allowed to come and confirm their names, make corrections, and if there is a deceased, cancellation was done. I became an exhibition officer where I had a COVID-19 ambassador under me. And then during 2020 elections, I became the name reference officer for Electoral Commission in my district. Thank you, Chair.
You see, I thought you would dwell on the many things you did in the hall, but you rather went to do. So let me tell you what you just did.
Okay, please.
As the infirmary, you have March 2018 dot 2019 to February 2019. I don't know what that means at second D. Then the ballot issuer was 1 month. It was December 2019 to December 2019.
Mommy, please.
Was it 1 month?
No, please.
But here you've written December 2019 to December 2019. So I see that as 1 month. Then as registration officer, May 2020 to July 2020. So 2 months.
Yes, please.
Then the field worker to May, the same May when you were the registration officer, you were also the field officer because the dates are the same. May 2020 to July 2020, registration officer. At that same time, you were also the field officer, correct?
No, please.
But that is what you have written.
Prof.
Should
Chair.
I take it that you don't pay attention to details?
No, please.
My sister,
Prof. Chair.
because I've never seen March 2018 to dot 2019 to February 20. I've never seen that kind of date before. So what I thought you would, exhibition September 2020 to September 2020. It was 1 month.
Mommy, please, it was a week.
1 week. Oh, so
Yes,
1 month no cry is too much.
Yes, please.
It was 1 week.
Yes.
And then the name reference was also 1 week.
The name reference was a day.
1 day.
Yes, please.
I see. So, even in the electoral commission, you have just a week, a day, 2 days experience. You don't have much experience. So why do you want to be the vice president?
Mommy, please, with Prof. Chair, please. With the Electoral Commission, I worked as a registration officer for 2 months during the 2020 change of the voters' ID card. Thank you.
I see. Were you not the financial secretary of the women's wing at Kwame Nkrumah?
Yes, please.
Why have you not talked about that? Because I gave you an opportunity to tell us about your experiences. Or you want to be known for electoral commission?
No, please.
You want to be the UC in future? Tell us about that.
Okay, Mommy.
Don't call me mommy. I can't give birth to you. Address the chair.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Chair. Okay. So, in 2023, January 2023 to date, I'm the financial secretary for the women's wing of the Kwame Nkrumah Hall. I'm also a member of the SRC Health Committee.
Even that one, you did not even write it. SRC Health Committee, you didn't write it. You are the member of organizing committee of Pentecost students and associates. Why are you not mentioning those ones? You don't want people to know that you have had those experiences? Hmm? And as a financial secretary, what were you doing?
Thank you, Prof. Chair. As a financial secretary, we record the expenses of the ring. That is the money that comes to us and then the monies we use. Thank you, Prof. Chair.
So, what is the role of the vice president of SRC vice president? What's the role of SRC vice president?
Thank you, Prof. Chair. The role of the SRC vice president is to assist the SRC president in his duties. The SRC vice president also acts in the absence of the SRC president when the power is invested in him or her. Also, the SRC vice president chairs committees of the SRC. Thank you, Chair.
I think you are too soft for the position you are coming in for. You think if the president travels and you have to chair the whole SRC committee, with there you are doing. Can you really do it?
Yes, please.
Convince me that, because I don't think you can do it. I think you are too soft. You just have to just rest and concentrate on your books and finish, or better still, look for a hall position, but not SRC. What would you say to that?
Thank you for the opportunity. Right from level 100, I've been involving myself in so many activities. I started in level 100 as part of the infirmary committee in the hall, and then I was an active member. Sometimes our voices, we may be soft in our voices, but we stand for what we know is right and what needs to be done. And then in my class too, I'm responsible, I'm focused with whatever that I want to do. I pay right attention to details. And then I'm concerned about people. I want to serve people. I want to help people when the need arrives. Thank you, Prof. Chair.
But you already help. You're already helping people in the church. You're already helping people as the financial secretary. You're helping people at Ankafo and Elmina Polyclinics. Is that not enough?
I want to extend it to the student level.
To the students. How many students do we have in the university?
About 20,000.
And you think you can take care of 20,000 people?
Yes. With the assistance of the Executive Council. Thank you, Prof. Chair.
As hobbies, you like watching movies as a university student. Which kind of movies do you like watching?
Okay. Prof. Chair, please. I watch Christian movies, mostly from Lionsgate.
So which one was the title of the latest one you watched?
Prof. Chair, please, to be honest, I've not been following of late.
So you are lying to us on your CV.
No, please.
College of Health and Allied Sciences. Is it a proper noun, or you can write it anyhow?
Prof. Chair, please, it's a proper noun.
Do you remember how you wrote it? Because you claim you are very analytical. Did you look at how you analyzed that college? The same college you belong to, Mamle. But I'm curious, you are Mamle and you are Nyango.
Yes.
How come?
So, the Mamili, I'm the third girl amongst my siblings. Yeah, the ladies. And then with the Nyango, it means it's mommy. And then my dad gave it to me.
I see. I may surely come back to you, but I'll leave you for now.
Thank you, Prof. Che.
Family,
Say,
ungesamia.
ipope
No manyo matu munyunge fante hum. Ongmange you are very proficient in fanti. Eh? Do we have Cape Coast fanti? Do we have Takrade fanti? And do we have Agunam fanti?
Yes,
Oh.
please, Prof. Che.
We have.
Yes, please.
How different is the Takrade Infante from the Cape Coast Infante?
I think, Prof. Che, please, I think with the way some of the words are being pronounced, for instance, I speak the Takrade Fancy. The moment...
Do we have literature categorized as Takrade Infante?
No, please. No.
So there's nothing like that.
Okay. Thank you.
So in your CV, you said you have a professional working proficiency in Takrade Fante. I say, Masumi fi Takrado. So if you say you're proficient in Fante, that is fine. But to say that you're proficient in Takrade Fante, there's nothing like that.
Thank
So
Prof.
you need to
Che.
clean that up. And again, as Prof said, your CV is also not good at all. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with your CV at all. And you fail to also indicate the things you did at Efiam Kwanta and the other places when you were an intern. So if you say intern, Efiam Kwanta Regional Hospital, then in the same, under the same section, this is what you've written. I'm reading directly from your CV. So intern, October 2021 to December 2021, Efiam Kwanta Regional Hospital, Kwame Nkrumah Hall, UCC Ghana. And even the Nkrumah is spelled wrongly. Is Kwame Nkrumah Hall the address of Efiam Kwanta Regional Hospital?
No, please, Chair.
Did you show this CV to Alexander?
Yes.
Alexander is very proficient in writing and oral. And both of you could not reconcile this because you spelled Nkrumah wrongly. And then you made it look like Kwame Nkrumah Hall, UCC Ghana, is the address of Efiam Kwanta Regional Hospital. Is that correct? Mamli?
Prof. Chair.
Yes, talk to me. What is the address of Efiam Kwanta Regional Hospital?
Prof. Chair, please, I don't know.
You don't know?
No, please.
But you live in Takrady. You went to secondary college.
Yes,
And
please.
you don't know the address of Efiam Kwanta. I say, maybe. So where is Efiam Kwanta located?
It's located near secondary.
Yes,
nursing and
that area has a name. What is the name of that neighborhood?
Pijai.
Anyway, we'll come back.
Thank you, Prof. Chair.
Possible.
Yes, the chair.
So you made mention of you collaborating with the SRC as the academic committee chair to inform students on their career decision. How were you able to do it?
Sorry, please.
I said that you made mention in your CV that you collaborated with the SRC during your tenure as the academic chair to inform students on their career decision. How were you able to do it? And what was the feedback?
Thank you, the chair. Thank you, the chair. When I was the head of the Students' Academic Affairs, we organized a seminar on career development, of which we brought the interested parties. We actually made it public, so the students who were interested joined. And then that was when we educated them on how to develop themselves academically, and also how to learn and then pass the requisite courses that they are mandated to actually pass before they leave the university. Again, we also introduce them to some of the things that they are supposed to do whilst they are on campus before they leave. Sometimes some of the students are too bookish. And then to understand that, we let them know that you balance them with other activities. Probably when there's a summit or there is a conference, then you add up so that that one also could build you up. And the feedback was positive.
Did you assess the feedback?
Well, we didn't use any structured approach, but if I may not exaggerate too much, the feedback, as in the students showing their concerns and their interest after the program, we approach them. How did you see the program? It's like we do the instantaneous assessment. How did you see the program? What did you pick from it? And then the feedback was okay.
Okay, so now to your substantive question, okay. So the students' body believes that the SRC, okay, should help them regulate the hostels fee of independent hostels in the university, okay. So they believe that you should assist them so that these hostels managers will annually, as they increase it, won't increase it, but it will be regulated. They've petitioned you as the SRC to help them bring this idea into reality. How, as the SRC, help the students' body in achieving this petition or this idea?
Thank you, the chair. That is a very intelligent question. Yes, please. Yes, please. If my office is being petitioned as SRC president to intervene in the hostel regulations, the first thing to be done is to bring in diaspora we have hostel managers, landladies, and then caretakers association, of which myself, I have witnessed them meeting in front of the Amamoma Palace before.
Is it a union that exists on campus?
Not on campus, precisely. Okay, please, may I know if you are talking about the hostels in diaspora or hostels on campus, respectfully?
Alexander, we don't have hostels on campus. We have halls of residence. I'll need you to pay attention to the question so we don't spend too much time. If not, I'll ask that we roll over to the next question, please.
Okay, thank you, the chair. Okay, so continuing with that, yes. The hostels, I've seen the hostel managers and then the landladies and the caretakers association. So I will make sure to approach the leaders of these associations, and then when I approach them, I'll talk to them and then get to know like collaboratively, we'll be able to negotiate so that they will understand it, and then we come into consensus as to how they will regulate the prices of hostels in diaspora, respectfully.
It's their own building, I must say. It's their building that they are giving out to students. So how would you, I want realistic measures, okay? I don't want any theory here. I want realistic and feasible measures that you put in place to achieve that.
Thank you, the chair. I believe that on the negotiation table, one way or the other, you try to lobby. The issue is that the hostel belongs to them though. However, the students are also our property. So it is not about a conflict. We try to negotiate. We apologize, or we beg them or bring them on board. We let them know our concerns, the concerns that the students have actually presented onto us. And then on the negotiation table, we try to come into consensus. So I believe that it's all about negotiation.
Okay. So I was looking out for the part that if persuasion fails, force must be applied. But you let that part out. So my follow-up question was, what if they failed, or what if they still persist that we are not going to comply by your method? So I was looking out for the rent control units to come in so that they want to help you in achieving that. But it was a good attempt. Mamele.
Yes, please.
Sorry. So, Charter House, okay, producers of Miss Malaika, they've approached you to help them as the vice president to organize a beauty pageant so that you empower the young ladies on campus and those around the university community. As the vice president, by the way, the initiative is fully funded. You are not going to pay anything from organization to the awards, okay? You are just going to help them put the whole setup in place. So how would you go about this brilliant offer?
Thank you, the chair. So first, I would write a letter to the Dean of Students.
Please go on.
I would write a letter to the Dean of Students to have a beauty pageant on campus.
So is pageantry allowed in the school in the first place? It is allowed?
It is not allowed in the school.
You first accept their offer first before you write to the Dean of Students?
No, please.
How would you go about it?
So it is not allowed in the school. But then we can still have it since the students are given the opportunity to show forth their talent. So I would we would have a meeting. I would involve the executive council. We have a meeting, and then we apply to the Dean of Students, and then we try and then negotiate with him, give him reasonable reasons why we would still want to have the pageant. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Mamele, according to the student handbook, beauty pageants and any other thing of that sort is highly banned. Okay, it's highly prohibited in the university. So, what as a leader you would do is to just squash the idea. But if you want to, you can first write to the Dean of Students for approval first before you can go on and accept their offer. You don't accept their offer and write to the Dean of Students. Please, do you get it?
Yes, please.
So you tried on that.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
So the answer was wrong, totally. It was wrong, but you attempted. At least you had an idea. So that was okay. Possible?
Hello, my lady. Please, I'll start from you. Okay. How do you plan to ensure a smooth transition from the incoming president after your term ends, ensuring continuity and the transfer of institutional knowledge? Let me come again. I'm talking to you, my lady. Yes, I'm starting from you. How do you plan to ensure a smooth transition for the incoming president after your term ends, ensuring continuity and the transfer of institutional knowledge?
Thank you, Chair, for the question. So first, the handing over is done for Chair, please, can you come again?
And please listen, or this is my last time. I'll repeat. How do you plan to ensure a smooth transition for the incoming president after your term ends, ensuring continuity and the transfer of institutional knowledge?
Thank you for the question. So, after the handing over, now formally, I have handed my tenure of office, but the incoming executives by then are not well vested with their position and what they would be doing. So we would have a meeting with them. Whatever documents, whatever legal documents that has to be handed to them would be handed to them. And then whatever, after the documents have been handed to them, after the documents have been handed to them, whatever thing that you have to tell them, I would have to explain it to them, how I ran the office, how I did my work for me to maybe be able to combine the work with my academics. I share with them. And even as at when I am gone, I can't be totally be out. I still have to be checking up on them, asking them, how is the work going? How are you going about the duties? And then if they are facing any challenges, I would make myself available to them for them to seek help. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, that's a very good attempt. Now to you, Possible. According to the Constitution or the supremacy of the Constitution, how could you explain the relationship between the SRC Constitution and the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana?
Okay. The 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, subject to the supremacy, which is the Article 1.2 and then Article 2.1, both of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and the SRC. The inscription there or the quote there are the same. So I see the SRC Constitution to be the supreme constitution of, like, for the students' body, and then the Constitution of Ghana also to be the supremacy for the land. It means that no one is above the Constitution, and everything that that anyone will do on campus or in Ghana, that person has to look up to the Constitution and see the Constitution to be the supreme.
Okay, that's also a very good attempt.
All right. My first question goes to the vice. Okay, so as the SRC vice president, you are a member of the appointments committee of the parliamentary board. So aside you, which other people are also members? I hope you got the question.
So, thank you, Chair, for the question. Members of the Parliament.
No. The appointments committee of the parliamentary board. You are also a member of the committee, and then it is stipulated in the constitution of the SRC. So which other persons are also members of that committee?
Thank you. Please, we have the Chief Justice as a member of the committee. We have hall reps, a member picked from each hall as a member of the committee. We have the president, the SRC president, as a member of the committee.
No, please. Per the constitution, these are the members of the appointment committee of the parliamentary board. That is the first deputy speaker, who shall be the chairperson, and then the vice president of the SRC, and then 2 presidents of the junior common room committee appointed by the speaker, presidents of GRASAG, and then 2 other members appointed by the speaker, one of whom shall be a female. I hope you understand it now. And then my question to the president as well. So a member of the Ucc Src Judicial Board has been removed from office. On what grounds was he removed from that office?
Okay. Thank you, the chair. A member of the judicial board will be impeached or removed from the board when the member misconducts his or herself in such a way that it will bring disrepute to the university, or it will bring disrepute to the office that he or she is serving.
Okay, you've made an attempt, but per the constitution, a member of the judicial board shall cease to hold office if he or she ceases to be a justice of the JCR Judicial Committee of a Hall of Residence, having provided at least 21 days notice, resigns by writing resignation letter, signed and addressed to the Executive Council through the President, is unable to perform his or her functions either because of infirmity of the body or mind, and is indicted for stated misbehavior or incompetence, provided that the indicted member has been given the opportunity to be heard in defense before a committee set up by the executive board and has been found guilty. So you've made an attempt on that, but you didn't get it right.
Sure.
But your attempt was a little bit close, so I will give you 1 for that.
Thank you, the chair.
Okay, possible.
The chair.
You have some legal background, right?
A little.
Okay. So what is an impasse? Impasse. IMPASSE.
Impasse. Okay. I don't know much about it, but I want to try.
Okay.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Good. I see impasse to be okay. A way that is that the let me say impasse to be
Alexander,
Yes,
do you
madam.
know what an impasse is?
no please, but like I have heard it before. That is why I had wanted to try. Sure. Okay. Impasse, it is a way that is being paved. So when a legal issue, probably there's something that you are not supposed to do, or when there's a restriction on a legal, as like when there's a legal restriction on something, and then the law says that we are supposed to let that one comes into force. We say that we have made an impasse in the law. It means that in the olden days, previously, that thing we were not supposed to do, but there has been an amendment. There has been an impasse. So that is what I understand impasse to be. Thank you.
Well, that is not true. So an impasse is basically a situation in which no progress is possible, or there is no solution for it at a particular level. So impasse is a situation in which there is no progress, or when no progress is possible, maybe because of disagreement. Do you understand?
Thank you, the chair.
Okay. So Lydia, so that one you find in the handbook, section 21C. It is there. So Lydia, we have special students in the school, and they require special education. Which executive is responsible for coordinating all activities and the welfare of these students?
Which executive is in charge? This one shouldn't take you more than 1 hour.
The Health and Welfare Committee.
I'm sorry, that is you, the vice president. Okay, so let's move on.
So, Madam Vice President, you don't even know some of your rules.
Also, you can find it at Article 8, Section 4, Subsection E.
Possible.
Yes, the chair.
Your question. You refer to the student body as your property in one of your submissions when you were given a response to how you go about incrementing hostel bills. Okay, we are back on. Yes, please do you remember? Or
Yes. Yes, please.
you do remember?
Yes.
So
please.
it means we are yours and you really care about us, right?
Yes, please.
So there is a body that is directly under a certain office, and this body coordinates the planning and monitoring of academic programs in the university. Your job is to mention that body, tell us which office it is directly under.
Okay. Respectfully, the latter part of the question, I'll be much grateful. There is a body. Yes, please.
There is a body in the university that is they are under directly under a certain office, and this body coordinates and monitors the academic programs in the university. And I said your job this morning is to tell us which office this body is under, and then mention that body we are talking about.
Okay. Is Directorate of Academic Planning and Quality Assurance. So they are under Directorate of Academics.
That's not true. It is truthfully the Directorate of Academic Planning and Quality Assurance. That's correct. But that directorate is directly under the office of the Vice Chancellor. And you will find this in the Student Handbook, page 14. So you got part of it, that's the name of the directorate, but you didn't get the office right. Now, Madam Vice President, your question. You were earlier on asked about beauty pageant, and then later was corrected that it was banned. Now, I want to ask you about floats. Female students in this university want to embark on a float. How will we go about it?
Floats are also prohibited in the university. Before you can embark on floats, you need the approval of the Dean of Students before you can embark on floats. Thank you, the Chair.
That's how we'll go about it. How many days will we need to seek for this permission?
We would need 5 days, 5 working days.
Yes, that's correct. So
all right, possible. You are welcome. I hope everything is possible.
With God.
All right, so possible. I remember 2020, 2021, you came for local Nugs president. Is that right?
Yes, the Chair.
And you have the opportunity, you are here, you are now coming for SRC president. In both capacities, you serve students. What has changed?
Okay. Okay, respectfully. Okay. Respectfully, nothing has changed in this. The reason being that for SRC presidency, you'll be serving students. And then local news presidency, you'll be serving students. So nothing has changed here.
So the local news president's position is still there. So since nothing has changed, you could have still gone for it. Well, let's make some progress. Let's go to the lady. Our dearness. I think you are fine. You've written, you told us that you pay attention to details. But if you refer to your email, your name is not spelled correctly. And it is the email, the third part is capital letters. And if you go to the reference, you also see Joseph. Something at Takrady Harbor. Am I right? Yes, it's also cap. I'm sure you told us you pay attention to details. So next time, please, actually pay attention, not just to tell us. Now, possible.
The Chair.
All right, listen to your substantive question. A level 200 student who has finished writing his exams in the first week of the examination has left home, and 3 days later, the student was notified that 2 of the papers the student wrote were leaked and had been cancelled. And those papers were rescheduled to be written before the semester finally goes down.
Please, I wish you could space yourself a little bit for me.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Suppose a level 200 student who has finished writing his examination in the first week of examination had gone home. 3 days later, the student was given a notification from the department that 2 of the papers he wrote were alleged to have leaked, and they've cancelled those papers. And those papers were rescheduled to be written before the semester finally goes down. The said student was not able to come back to write those 2 papers due to some challenges. In context, or per regulations, the student has approached you as the SRC president. What would you tell that student?
Thank you, the chair. We have, okay, the first thing that I will inquire from the students was on the, is on the ground that the students couldn't make it up to write the paper. Like the reason behind.
Alexander.
Yes, sir.
This is the last time I'm telling you to pay attention to the question. Okay?
Yes, sir.
We don't want to spend the whole day here.
Thank you, the chair.
Question is explicit. A level 200 student finishes his exams in the first week. He decides to go home. 3 days after he left, he was told that 2 of his papers leaked. So they are taking the exams again. For some circumstances, he was unable to come back to campus to take the exams. He has approached you as the SRC president. What advice would you give him?
Good.
Is that a question?
Okay. Respectfully, that was why I was saying that, because we have held grounds. If it happens to be a held grounds, that's where I was coming from.
No. I think Prof has made it clear. It's not any held ground. The person finished the exam, his examination, the first week of examination.
Sure.
And then has left home. So you can it's not any ground. The person is fit. Yeah.
Okay. The university only permits students who will mix papers on health grounds. And then it says that when they are sick and then they bring, when they are sick and then they return back to campus, they have to come with their certificate. If it is not on health grounds and then the students miss it, as SRC president, what I would do is to stand in to go to present the student to the academic advisor. And then from the department, the academic advisor, and then the chief examiner, they take the issue from there. And then from there, they will write a letter. If the issue is genuine, they will attach the letter and then forward it to the office of the dean of students. And then the letter will finally be forwarded to the directorate of academic affairs. So as a SRC president, this is the process that I will let the students pass through. If it is not on health grounds or a genuine reason of which the student had already written a letter. Thank you.
Okay, you've walked us through some processes. I think it's a bit subjective. You may deserve an average, but respectively, the last day of the semester is the day the university officially goes down. So when you finish your exam in the first week and you decide to go home, yes, you can be home. But if there's anything, you could be called back to the university to do whatever you are supposed to do. So ideally, the person will have to retake those papers. There's probably nothing to be done. So your answer was quite possible. So let's make progress. Now to our dearness, listen very carefully. You've gone to the breeze and you've met some level 100 students there, also enjoying some breeze, whilst their counterparts are the congregation grounds. I mean matriculation ongoing. You approach them, you told them why, you ask them, why should they be here at this time whilst matriculation is ongoing? And they tell you that every ceremony in the university is not compulsory. They decide which ceremonies to attend. What would you tell them per the student regulations? What would you tell those people?
Thank you, Chair, for the question. So I'll tell them that if a student is not matriculated, the student is not recognized as a student of the university. It is, the matriculation is an official ceremony that
Yeah, continue, please. We're listening. Continue.
it's an official ceremony that shows that the student is now a student of the university, and the student is part of the.
Please continue. We are getting you right, so also continue. Just finish it up for us so we make progress.
Okay, so with the matriculation, there's an oath that a student signs. So without signing that oath, the university doesn't qualify you to be a student. So you have to be matriculated before you can be recognized as the student. So as they are at the breeze, it is.
Okay, so what are you telling them? Are you telling them it's optional or it's compulsory?
I'm telling them it's compulsory. Because if they are not at the matriculation
Okay, no further explanation. No, I'll give it to you. You got it right. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is right.
You, Chair.
Please.
I don't like the way they are leading you on to answer the questions. I am tempted to overrule some of the questions. So please, the next round, pay attention. If not, I would overrule the responses. The leads are becoming one too many.
Thank you, the Chair.
Hello. Okay, so I'll start with the lady first. So the question I'm about to ask is in relation to the responsibilities of the academic staff and students. Can you hear me? I said the question I'm about to ask is in relation to the responsibilities of the academic staff and students. So it's a straightforward question. Do you get it? Thank you. So it's in the form of a riddle, so kindly pay attention. I liaised with the head of department, dean of school or faculty, the director of academic affairs, or other course instructors, as the case may be. I'm also charged with the responsibility of placing students into class groups when necessary. Who am I?
Chair, please, can you kindly repeat the question for me?
Okay, so this is going to be the last time. I liaise with the head of department, dean of school or faculty, the director of academic affairs, or other course instructors, as the case may be. I'm also charged with the responsibility of placing students into class groups when necessary. Who am I?
Directorate of Academic Affairs and Quality Assurance.
Are you sure?
No, please.
You're not sure? Can we make progress? Please be fast for me.
I'm sure.
Okay, so that is wrong. So that is the faculty, school, or departmental registration offices. So it can be found at page 44. Thank you. Please to the gentleman.
Yes, the chair.
Thank you. So the university has core courses in relation to the academic affairs and regulations. Mention the main type of core courses in the university.
The chair, can you humbly come again for the last time?
The university has core courses in relation to the academic affairs and regulations. Mention the main type of core courses in the university.
Okay. We have communicative studies as a course. We have critical thinking and practical reasoning as a core course. We have general African studies as a core course. We have Libra as a core course, entrepreneurship and small businesses also as a core course of the university.
Okay, so that's wrong. Now, when we talk about the main types of core courses in the university, we rather have the university-wide compulsory courses, the faculty compulsory courses, the departmental compulsory courses, and then the program-specific compulsory courses. Now, the one you mentioned is the university-wide compulsory courses. Thank you.
The question was about the types. You didn't say you should list the core courses. You're not paying attention. Alexander. Question says types, so types. You didn't say list the core courses. Let's make progress.
Thank you, the chair.
All right. My lady, this is a very simple question, okay? All right. You've met the AGCM current president, and then he informs you that a student has written an exam and the results are out for like 4 weeks, and that he is not okay with the results. Then he wants to go for remarking. What do you think would be the appropriate step you guide the AGCM president to tell his member to do?
Thank you, Chair, for the question. So after the release of examinations, and then a student is not okay with his or her results, the student has 21 days to request for a remarking if he is not okay with his results. Thank you.
I'm saying that the person comes to the AGCM president 4 weeks. What would you advise him
4
to do?
weeks after the release
Of the results. What would you advise the president to tell the member?
Okay, so in the first place, the time for clarification of results is overdue. And also, the AGCM president is not the first person for the person to consult if he's not okay with his results. He or she has to see the academic advisor because the time for clarification has elapsed. Thank you.
All right. So I think you are right. It is 21 days that's required for you to go for remarking. Is that clear? So in that sense, I think in the position of the AGCM president, he has nothing to do about it. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
And now to possible. Possible. I think I read a scripture in Luke 18. I forgot about the other verse that talks about possible and impossibilities. Slightly, can you just finish me with the other verse of the Bible that talks about possible? Because I think you like possible things. Just light aside, then we'll move to your question.
Okay. Luke 1:38.
Luke 138.
Sure.
I am not sure, so if somebody can check and let us know. All right, now to your question. You know, the university has a 5 years mandatory way of reviewing its curriculum. Then in the formatting or the format for us to introduce a new program, if you follow the constituents of it, we have the heading of the document, we have the degree and the rationale behind it. Then if you move further, there is a place that we talk about the cost implication. The cost implication. I want you to tell me what constitutes the cost implication and the resource implication when you want to introduce a new program in the university. There's a format we follow. And as part of them, there's an area that talks about the cost implication, and there's the area that talks about resource implication. What are the constituents in the cost implication and the constituents, or what are the things that we need to do or take into consideration at the resource implication, these two areas?
Okay. The course implication, over there we look at the course content of the course we actually want to introduce in the university.
If you say the course content, what do you mean by course content?
The subject matter.
Cost, not course. Cost.
COST. Cost. Cost implication and
I think
resource
you have to listen carefully.
implication.
Possible.
Okay.
Cost.
And then the resource
implication.
Okay. Thank you, the chair. The cost implication talks about the cost involved in order to introduce the course on into the academic curriculum. And the resource implication talks about the personnel or the labor force that you will need for them to handle that stipulated course.
You've tackled only one, and I need about 4 under the resource implications. You've just mentioned one, the resource labor, that's all. And I need about...
Yes, the labor force is part, the location, or let me say, the physical materials like lecture theaters, where we'll be having such courses, are also part. Reading materials are also part.
All right, so I think generally I would say you have done well. That is good. So I'll give it to you. All right, I'll give it to the two of you.
Thank you.
Family, who is a manager? If we say someone is a manager, who do you think is a manager?
Chair, please come again.
Well, who do you, what if we say someone is a manager?
Manager.
Yes.
Oh.
If we say this person is a manager.
So, a manager would direct, he would coordinate, and then he will see to it that the day-to-day activities of an organization is done or established. Thank you.
Excellent. Now, do you think it is necessary for managers to set targets for the people they direct? If yes, why, and if no, why?
A manager is supposed to set targets for the people he is directing, so that at the end of the day, the manager can assess those that he is working with, whether they are competent or not. Thank you, the chair.
What is competency?
Competency is using your skills, your capabilities, and then your knowledge to work in a particular area. Thank you.
That's good. That's excellent. Alexander, your
Chair.
vice is clearly told us what management is and what competence is. Now, do you think that between leaders and managers, who should set goals for an organization? Between leaders and managers, who should set goals for an organization?
Okay.
If you have a leader and then you have a manager, between the two of them, who should be the one setting the goals of that organization?
Okay. Thank you, the chair. The manager and then the leader. Okay. I believe that the manager is the one who is supposed to set the target, because every manager, one way or the other, is also a leader. Yes, please.
Listen to my question very well. So in an organization where you have a leader and then you have a manager, okay, in the operational chain, between the two, who should be the one setting the goals?
Oh, okay. Thank you, the chair. If these two are in the same organization, then the leader is the one who is supposed to set the goals.
Why so?
Okay. The leader is the one who is at the top level. He's the one who is leading the entire entity. He's the one who is driving. And then when he set the goals, he passed it down to the manager, for the manager to use the functions of management to make sure that these goals are firmly established. Thank you.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so there is a heading on it, President and Vice, yeah. So you listen to the instruction. So you keep that sheet down for now. So I'm going to assess you on your critical skills, decision making, teamwork, and independent thinking. So the first set of questions I'm going to ask you. Oh, President, you just hold on for now. We've not come to that.
Okay.
Yes, so calm down.
Thank
In the first part, I'm going to ask you a question. We are going to communicate. You can consult, then you give me the answer. But there's only one rule. The one rule is that the document before you, you can't consult. And all the marks, so each question you answer, I'll give you a mark. But if you get that document wrong, everything is gone. Are we good? So let's start. So the first question is just straightforward questions. You can consult and answer. So when I say owner's equity,
Okay. Thank you, the chair.
I'm chair.
The
The
objection-
first part of the
objection,
question,
chair.
They can do it in work,
Ye-
but the
yes,
last
please.
part, they can't.
That's what the requirement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So with your economics background, when we say owner's equity, what are we talking about? Owner's equity.
We are talking about capital.
Owner's equity.
Sure. Owners' equity, they are the amount that the owners have invested in the business.
Okay.
So it is the capital.
So apart from the capital, you are right. But I want you to bring out the specific. We are all economics people, so let's talk economics.
Investment. The amount that they have actually invested in the business.
Okay. It's partial, but let's move on. So classify these two items. So I was expecting you to talk about the assets and the liabilities of the owners of the share. Are you getting it? So it's in the same context. That's why I said let's move on. Now, so you get 2 marks for that. The second one, classify the 2 items into assets and liabilities. So the first one is cash and cash equivalent, then accrued taxes. Tax and cash and cash equivalent and accrued taxes, classified into assets and liabilities.
Okay. Thank you, the chair. The cash and cash equivalent is an asset.
Okay.
And then debt accrued is a liability.
So accrued tax. But
Accrued
it's
tax.
okay, no problem.
Thank you.
So in this section, you are going to tell us your opinion. I get on it. So I'm going to ask a preamble and tell us your opinion. So the University of Cape Coast has various
The University of Cape Coast has various.
So has threshold for approval for the various procurement levels. I hope you know that.
Yes, please.
Good. Do you think the system is right, given that each office has its own need? It's an open question, so
Even though each one, that's
each
the last one.
office
Okay.
has a procurement level. That's what you said, right? Do you
Sure.
think this policy is right? And would the SRC want to adapt it?
Yes, please. I believe that the setting of the threshold is right. That one will help in the internal controls. So the procurement session, however, if it is beyond that threshold, which is the 15,000, it has to go to the vice chancellor for approval. So I believe that it is right because it facilitates internal controls.
How would it facilitate internal control?
Thank you, the chair. The principal spending officer is the VC. So once the amount goes beyond the 15,000, in order to exercise much control, like to monitor what is actually going on, beyond the threshold of 15,000, it has to go to the VC.
So basically, what you are telling me is that the VC does not trust the workers he has put in place. Is that what you are telling me?
Okay. Not necessarily the VC, thank you, the chair. Not necessarily the VC doesn't trust the people he has actually entrusted them with the work. But the issue is we are in corporate world. And in corporate world, what must be done must be done. There are rules and there are laid down procedures. And that is what has to be adhered to.
So if the VC is not around, all activities should come to a halt. Is that what you are saying?
If the VC is not around, he has his delegates. He has the one who takes over in his absence. Pro Vice Chancellor is there. So the Pro Vice Chancellor can come in. If the Pro Vice Chancellor is not there, the Director of Finance also could come in, or the Registrar.
So the registrar, the director of finance, pro vice chancellor, they can all sign for a money which is worth 15,000 to be released.
In the absence of the Vice Chancellor, the Pro Vice Chancellor can sign.
So who would account to the council if the pro vice chancellor signs a receipt or signs a procurement order? Who would account to the council?
Thank you, the chair. On the council is the Director of Finance who will present the income statement to the council. Since the Director of Finance also is part of the council, so it's the Director of Finance who explain the inflows and the outflows at the council.
So if there is a debt, who should be held responsible? If the director of finance signs a contract and there is a debt, who should be held responsible for that?
If the Director of Finance signs a contract and then the VC didn't sign.
Of course, that's what you said. You said that the director of finance can sign in the absence of the VC. Okay. So your final question. So if you accumulated 5 marks, identify the document for the remaining 5, or you lose everything you've earned. So who is ready?
The chair, please. I have an invoice before me.
Okay, I'll give it to you, but the right name is Atomized Bill Invoice. So you've been saved. It all depends on your president now to save the team.
Okay. The chair. I see. The chair, I see it to be a receipt.
Which kind of receipt?
Receipt that we obtain when we pay, we make payment.
Every receipt is obtained when you make payment. So which receipt?
Like it's a receipt of donation that we have made. So,
That is correct. Cash receipt. Donation receipt. You are correct. So you've earned your 4 marks. Congrats.
Thank you, the chair.
Alex. Yes, you are. I don't normally say this, but you are too nervous. Even our lady is well composed. The way you are sitting and shaking and sighing, you are too nervous. And then when my colleague asked about the Bible quotation that talks about what is possible and impossible, you said Luke chapter 1 verse 38.
Sure.
If you didn't know, you should have told us you don't know. You shouldn't have misled us.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Luke 1:38 says, and Mary said, behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it done unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed. That is what is at Luke chapter 1, verse 38. Alex, are you listening? Are you listening? Okay.
Okay.
So that quotation you were looking for is in Luke chapter 18, verse 27. Should I quote that one too for you?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. Sure.
All right. So calm down and calm down.
Thank you.
This is a very friendly exercise. You are aspiring for the highest student body office in the university. Yes.
Sure.
So you need to get a hold of your nerves.
Sure.
So let me ask. Okay. For my questions, the two of you can decide to team up and answer the question, or one person can answer both questions, anyhow you choose to go about it. The leader and founder of Heavyweight Champion International Ministry, Madam Patricia Isiedua, popularly known as Nana Agrada, has been arrested. What is the charge against her? What is her case?
Thank you, the chair. Okay. Currently, I don't know, but for the previous issue that has happened to her, that's what I want to try.
Okay, yes. So it's actually a rearrest.
Okay.
Okay.
On frauding, like he extorted his her church members. She actually took money from them, and then she told them that she would turn it into, like, she will let it multiply. However, that wasn't the real case.
Oh, okay. She was doing Sikagari. This rearrest is about a different issue.
Okay.
Okay, Mamle.
I would want to try.
Yes, you can try.
My eyes flashed.
Okay.
Please, I think she falsified a nude.
Yes, you're on the right track. Keep going.
Yes. She falsified a nude picture or video about a pastor.
Yes, yes, that is correct. It is alleged that she displayed a photo and a nude photo of one prophet on her TV channel in a program. Yes. So let me ask you another question. What is the role of the Office of Special Prosecutor in Ghana, and who is currently the Special Prosecutor? My soon-to-be lawyer.
Okay. Currently, the name I don't know.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Okay.
But the function, the special prosecutor is the one who actually stands in to interrogate a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please. Before he is actually the, how should I put this?
He interrogates a suspect.
The special prosecutor, he actually prosecutes. Okay, respectfully, I don't know how to present it, so I think we can let it go.
Okay, okay. So Mamle has answered part of the question correctly, so you get half of the score. The name of the special prosecutor is Lawyer Kisi. Okay.
Please continue.
If you would want to try, you can answer. All right. So his name is Lawyer Kisi Ajabin, and the actual role is to fight against corruption, whether it's in a public or private office. Yes.
Okay, so, Alexander, before you go, as we sit here, we are learning a lot from you. You may not know, but we are learning.
Thank you,
And
the
in
chair.
in the same vein, we are also here to teach you when you go wrong.
Thank you, the chair.
Immediately, the chair and myself finished asking you your questions. I didn't want to destabilize you. That's why I didn't ask you.
Thank you.
When the next person asked you a question, then you said, this is a very intelligent question. And that presupposes that what we have done so far is not intelligent. So as a leader, you want to learn how to speak in public. Do you understand?
Yes,
I think
yes.
this is not your first appearance.
Yes, please. Yes,
so
please.
you must note some of these things.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
We
Yes,
take
please.
exception to it.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
What do you have to say to it?
The chair, yes, but I've seen that my attention has been drawn to something, so I've learned something from it. I'm sorry for that.
Thank you very much for coming. You hear from the committee soon. Right. So we're still live inside the Jenana Opoku Ajuman Auditorium. This is the vetting of nominees for the position of SRC President. We just finished with the first nominee. We would hand over to PDF for a minute or two, and then we'll take the second nominee for the day.
Right, I take over from here, and of course, I'm back on your screen to read your messages. This is to make it interactive. You know what I'm talking about. I told you this, but we have to be decorous in our choice of words. I'm picking yours as the first message. Leslie, the Vice President, Nankasa, her head, the sweet and this is also from Saluma, Charlie, the girl there, and Vimbi Yawakra Massa. All right. Man, look sharp. Good. Man, look sharp. Good daytime. Now, possible, no, they do. Look at what I'm using my bundle for. Sylvia, what are you using it for? Watch TV UCC, but if you have not subscribed, do that now, right? Theophilus, a champion, Ace, top chopping love here. What they chopping love? Sylvia comes in again. I have entrepreneurship, so I'm in class. My lecturer is not in the A. So you're watching TV, Sylvia? Yeah, let's watch TV. Keep watching. Rose comes in. Nicholas, be careful. Sylvia, per my observation, I don't think it's impossible. That is what you think. Kojo success. Madam Vice President doesn't even know. I'm not picking that one. The committee. Whoa. Whoa. Right. Great. We're still waiting for the next nominee to join us here. But let me take some few minutes to also interact with the people here. We're going to keep it interactive, as I told those watching us. Mr. Nketia, let's see if you can pick us from where you are seated. The early bird, they say, catches the worm. Casford for him. Hey. You ready to speak with us? Who? Your brother will do that. My brother, rise and let's capture you from the side. Oh, beautiful ladies in here at the auditorium. You see, ladies are beautiful, huh? My brother, rise and let's have a conversation here. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm doing well.
Hey, do you preach?
No, I don't preach.
We just heard from Possible, and people are saying that Possible, looking at how he's been quoting the Bible. Well, I don't know whether he's a pastor, but I thought maybe you also preach. I liked his voice anyway. What's your name and which program are you studying?
My name is Kingsley Arthur Fletcher, and I'm reading Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy and History.
What do you have to say so far about the veteran?
Okay, so honestly speaking, I admire how they were, interacting with the aspirant. But then there is this one thing that I want to put across. You see, in as much as we are all here to also learn, people are also here watching us from afar. And then I think the female aspirant, was accorded Lady Prof. Mami. And then she interjected along the line, said, I can't give birth to you. I thought that was too harsh to say, that she could have, found a nice way of telling her to address that, you can use Mr. Chairman or Prof. Chair, something like that. But for me, I felt it was too harsh.
That is your opinion. Have you been following the vetting so far, since we started?
Not really. Yeah, not really. I think it's just today that I've entered here.
You are in level 400?
Yes, please.
Did you ever think of contesting for a position?
Of course, yes. That was local news president.
What happened?
A whole lot. I think some of them are confidential, so we keep it on the low.
Would you want to greet someone?
Of course, yes. Another poet, and Casford Omaihene. Yeah.
He's a Casford Omaihene.
Interim.
What do you mean interim? Omaihene stand up. Nana de say
But you addressed him to be Omaihene.
I've seen him with them, but I never knew that he is Omaihene himself.
So I'm inferring from what you said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But are you Omaihene?
No, please.
What position do you hold there?
I'm the Continue.
Kaswo Koti Nana any piao, Nana sorry any interesting Komoka crack. Kaswo Koti Hinese, in Nodin Naba, you can sit down. Nana what drew?
Pacho Davi.
Oh, you know when you drew there, no.
It depends on the draw that you are talking about.
Did no be saying our
It be a malaria draw.
Tell us your name, the program that you studying and your level.
All right, I am Idbofo Okochiri Dominic, reading history and African studies, and I'm in level 400.
All right, the committee is ready, so I would put your question in the fridge. We'll come to you later, and of course, you would respond to that. So we're still vetting students who pick nomination forms to contest for the position of SRC President in the University of Cape Coast. We are the J. Nano Pokuajiman Auditorium. The committee is set to receive the next nominee or the next team for the SRC President portfolio. Keep your comments coming at the comment section, and of course, try as much as possible to subscribe if you have not done that. The chair.
Thank you very much, PDF. We're still live inside the Jenana Opokwajiman Auditorium, where we're vetting nominees for the position of SRC President. We'll have our second nominee appearing before us for the morning session, after which we'll take a break and then reconvene in the afternoon. So if the nominee is ready, let's usher them in.
I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember.
All right, you're welcome, lady and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Chair.
All right. So let me start with the lady. Let me start with you, and you're looking somewhere else. Look into the camera. Hey, I like the way you're smiling. So you look into the camera and smile. Okay? All right, kindly tell us your name and then your registration number.
Thank you, the Chair. My name is Veronica Cherda Dudu, a level 300 students reading communication studies with the index number ARCMS 0064.
Veronica, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And my gentleman.
Okay. My name is Desmond Ekulu, a level 300 law student with registration number FLLB 210017.
So Desmond and Veronica, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Right. So I believe we know why you're here. Since you obliged to come here, it means that we know that you're coming because you filed your nominations to be vetted for the position of SRC SRC President and then Vice. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you so much. So as usual, we'll take turns to ask you a couple of questions, okay? At any point in time, if you want us to slow down the pace, you can let us know. There's a bottle of water in front of you. Take a sip anytime. If you want us to take a break, you let us know. Sure, in front of you is also a pen and a sheet of paper. You can write whatever you want to write down. And please make eye contact with the cameras so that those who are watching us live on TV UCC and listening to us on ATL 100.5 would appreciate the discourse that we're having. It's an opportunity for you to sell yourself to the student populace. So make sure that your voice are audible enough so those out there can hear you, and then those watching you can also see the beautiful smiles, and probably that would inform their decision whether to vote for you should you make it through to the next phase. Okay, so we'll start off with let me start with the gentleman. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you, the Chair. My name, as I said earlier, is Desmond Ekulu, a level 300 law student. The Chair, I believe that as a person, one thing that should push you is the desire to lead others and to make others succeed, just as yourself seeks to succeed. I have been in the University of Cape Coast for the past 7 years, and I have, through these years, garnered some experiences that have helped me to train people, to develop myself, and to also seek to build the immediate environment which I find myself in. That's basically a little about myself.
That's good to hear. Vero, let us know you.
Thank you, sir. I am, like I said, I am Veronica Doju, and somebody that likes to take leadership positions and then that loves to inspire others as well. Somebody that loves to help in solving societal problems. And somebody that is outspoken and then love what she does.
That's good to hear. So what are you bringing on board to Ucc Src, if I may ask? What is your vision for the Ucc Src?
Thank you, sir, for the question. My vision for Ucc Src is to create or to build a student-involving SRC. An SRC where everybody's ideas come together and then we build the front we want. That is what I'm bringing on board. Thank you, sir.
Do you have the same vision, Desmond?
The Chair, yes, I do.
Tell us about it.
The Chair, for some time now, I have met with her and we have discussed some ideals that we believe that are very important in championing the cause of the students of UCC. I can see that one basic thing that a student of the University of Cape Coast, especially a female, needs is sanitary pads, I should say. But then it happens that here in our university, that is not provided for the female students. You can say that female students can buy that for themselves because it's more like a prerequisite of the female existence in this earth. But then it's not the case from my experience, from my interactions. It's not the case that every female student of this university is able to buy a sanitary pad for herself. So that is one thing we are seeking to champion. The Chair, again.
You want to procure sanitary pads for UCC female students?
Yes, the Chair.
That is your vision?
Yes, the Chair. It is one thing we are hoping to achieve.
Sorry?
It is one thing we are hoping to achieve. One
of the things you're hoping to achieve is to make sanitary pads available for all female students in the University of Cape Coast.
Affirmative,
Wow.
the Chair.
I'm interested in this subject, so we probably will come back to it a little later. Because I think it's a good initiative, but again, it's something that we need to look at properly and contextualize. So apart from that, what else do you intend to give to the University of Cape Coast?
Again, the Chair, my focus is on the student. One thing I have also realized is that as a student, what we are made to focus on is the academic credentials. We are made to learn and then to graduate with a class, first class, second class, or lower or upper. But then the courses that we take, majority of them do not give us the required corporate skills that are needed in the job in the field of work. So what we are seeking to also bring on board is that we bring on campus these companies or enterprises around us who are willing to employ students on part-time basis, basically, and to have these students work with them in order to gain these corporate skills before they graduate from the 4 walls of the university.
Is it my understanding that you think that the University of Cape Coast courses do not instill in you corporate skills? And so after you finish your first degree in communication studies, you didn't go anywhere else, but you decided to come back to the same university that didn't give you enough corporate skills to study law. Is that the case?
The chair, I said majority of the courses. I know entrepreneurship.
Yes, so majority.
Courses.
So that majority, you're not saying minority, majority of the courses. That should have informed your decision to look somewhere else other than the University of Cape Coast. Again, what do you think? Because if I schooled in UCC and majority of the courses do not prepare me for the work environment, and I have the opportunity to school again, then what am I doing in UCC?
Thank you, the chair. The course I read for my first degree, communication studies, gave me an exposure to advertising and public relations. Of course, I did not work in an advertising firm. I did work with a firm that was into finance and teaching people about their businesses, their corporate businesses.
Yes, so you misapplied your knowledge, and that does not mean that the university curricula is not tailored towards corporate business. Because I know
corporate skills, having
skills.
the skills before you go out there. Sometimes I've had the opportunity to interact with the people I graduated with back in 2020, and they tell me that majority of what you do whilst you are working is very different from what you learn in the classroom. When you go to work, you are going back to learn what is, especially in the banking field. You might know the basic.
Why would you do communication study and go into the banking field?
The work field is very diverse.
Then you should have studied banking and finance. Nothing prevented you from opting out of the communication studies to study banking and finance if that's where you want to work.
That is an example of individuals who have interacted with, who from communication.
So that may not necessarily represent the views of the University of Cape Coast. And you see, you have a platform and you want to be the SRC president. And then you are making comments about the same university that you attended, that you had a second opportunity to attend, and then you say majority of the courses are not aligned to corporate skills development. Yet you're here. And it is because the people you've spoken to, they moved from one specialty area to the other. So I studied laboratory medicine. And then I find myself in the bank. Obviously, the skills that I have gained in laboratory medicine will not be applicable in the bank. But that does not invalidate what I have studied. If I find myself in the field of laboratory medicine, then obviously those skill sets would be properly applied. Don't you think so?
Chair, I believe so. But then if we introduce this, it means that all students, it's not going to be relegated to just students in a business, but a student from the agricultural sciences can also take up this opportunity. And if there's a student should find him or herself in the banking sector, having worked once with a bank.
Why are you focusing on the bank? There are, again, the University of Cape Coast is magnanimous enough to set up an entrepreneurship program that runs across the university. So they train all students on small startup businesses. And I don't know what else you're looking for. There's a D-Hub, there's Src, so many other establishments. And this is an entrepreneurial university. It is only university that you find that students across all divides take courses in entrepreneurship and small business startups. And there are platforms to help students to start their own businesses independent of whatever they are studying and all of that. And I believe it should have been one of the things you should have highlighted, rather than trying to look down upon the courses that are taught in the university to say that they don't give you the needed skills because you studied communication studies and you found yourself in the bank. Desmond.
That is worth taking note of.
Yes, but I mean, I would agree with you if you say that you want to enhance those skill sets by bringing people from the corporate world so that you can expand that base, give people the opportunity. But to say that what you have been taught does not give you the needed skills, yet you finished the first degree and then you came back to start another first degree. Then there's some contradiction in there, don't you think? Anyway, I don't need you to answer that. Let's make progress. I think Madam is ready. Are you? All right. So I'll come back to you.
Okay.
I haven't forgotten about the sanitary part.
So hello and welcome.
Thank you.
This is to listening and viewing public. I think the candidates that just left was referring to me as Madam on and on. So after the third time, I jokingly said I can't give birth to her and that she should address the chair. And I must state that if any of our viewers or listeners find that offensive, I apologize unreservedly. But I want to educate us that when we come here, we must address the chair. I didn't mean to offend anybody. Thank you. Now to you, Vero. Welcome. It's good to see you. And this is a very bold step. And congratulations.
Thank you, the Chair.
I'm looking at your CV and I'm wondering whether you're a Ghanaian.
Yes, please.
It doesn't show here. I don't have any personal details here. No date of birth, nothing. It's just your name and your address. You don't want us to know about you. So I think those are very important things you should have brought on board. That will let us know you better. Now, with your educational background, I don't know whether you remember what you did. Do you remember? You did your CV yourself, right?
Yes, please.
So after you have University of Cape Coast and then the program, and then there's a space, but you move to the next line and then you write the dates. It makes it a bit haphazard. So I think that in future you should look at the arrangements, because that would make your work look better. Then I find something very interesting. You have been here for 3 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. But your referees, none is from UCC. Why? You have 3 referees. None of them is from UCC. It is true that you can choose the referees you want, but being here for 3 years, I find it, I'm curious. No lecturer agreed to give you a reference letter or...
Thank you, the Chair. I didn't contact any lecturer to give me a reference or anything. Please, that's why.
So where is Asafo Catholic is your basic school?
Yes, please.
Then Swedro is your high school?
Yes, please.
Then Very Price is?
Very Price is not as school as...
Where you worked?
Yes, please.
I see. So if you could go to your basic school, I was wondering why from level 100 to 300, you didn't contact anybody. Or you don't have good records in your school, in your department?
I do, please.
So it's I wouldn't say it's worrying, but I'm still wondering why. Very? In your hall, in your school, in your department? Okay, so walk me through your experiences, or walk us through your experiences.
Okay, please, is it my leadership experience?
Any experience you want to tell us about, you tell us.
Okay, so after I completed SHS, I had the opportunity to contest for the National Arts and Culture Festival. And then, fortunately, I came out as the winner for the National Best Poet 2019, sorry. So when I became
don't mind them, focus on me.
When I became the national best poet as at that time, the national best poet, I came back to my community, and then interaction with people. I had the opportunity to join some schools where I was their trainer as their poet, and then also a teacher there, that is the Kingsridge Montessori School, where I trained students in poetry, and also had a class that is the primary one class that I was a teacher there, and also I took the place of teachers who were absent in class, and then I also took their classes, and then I take care of kids are there. And then also when I came to the University of Cape Coast, I became the floor rep of my floor. The floor rep of G Block, second floor, I became their floor rep. And then I became the MP for G Central, that is Valco, the first Valco Parliamentary Council. I was the MP for G Block Central. And then from there, I became the Industrial Woman of Valco. That is the first runner-up Industrial Woman of Valco, where we helped to organize the ladies' wing and then do programs for them as well. Then I moved on to become the Faculty of Arts Treasurer, which I'm currently.
So Faculty of Arts Students Association, Treasurer. Tell me more about that. What have you been doing there?
With the Faculty of Arts, I take care of their expenditure, like things that I take care of their budgets. I draw budgets for them. I take care of their expenditure, like what they use their monies for. I am a signatory to their account, and then I am also the head of sponsorship.
So what new have you brought on board since you became the treasurer of the faculty?
Thank you, the chair, for the question. Since I became the treasurer of the Faculty of Arts, I think I've been able to get some sponsorship for the faculty. Like currently we had our faculty week celebration, and then we had to contact the PBF for sponsorship, and then I think we could go through with that.
I thought you'd go for the treasurer or the vice president of alcohol. Why didn't you? I thought, because you have been the G floor rep, MP Central for G Block, part of the minority caucus. So you've worked extensively in Valco. Why SRC?
Thank you, the chair, for the question. First of all, Valco would have been a very nice platform for me to learn more and also exhibit the things I have in me. But I saw SRC to also be a bigger platform where I can help people with the things I also know, instead of limiting it to only Valco holders. I think I can open up my hands and then help the entire university.
Okay, so can you tell me one problem, not sanitary part, one problem you have identified in UCC, the wider platform that you seek to use? One problem you have identified and how to solve that?
Thank you, the chair, for the question. One problem I have identified as a student of the University of Cape Coast, and I think what I would love to help solve, is that going from lecture halls to lecture halls, I currently notice that they have been pavements. They are constructing pavements besides the road.
Right.
That would allow us not to, maybe an accident or something will not happen, so that students will have ways they will walk on. But there is one problem I've noticed with this pavement. That let's take it, for instance, that I'm walking from Carl to Shatawale, and all of a sudden it starts raining. I don't have any shelter, and I have to get wet in the rain and then go to Shatawale. Or maybe I am sick, and then I'm walking from Shatawale to...
Please, where is Shatawale?
Sorry. the Sandwich Lecture Theatre.
I'm not sure we have any edifice in the University of Cape Coast called Shatawale.
I'm sorry to say.
This is an official platform, so let's use the official names. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So if I'm working from the Sandwich Lecture Theatre to, let's say, the Shuttle Station to take a bath, and then I'm not feeling well, it's either maybe I might look consciousness on my way and there is nowhere to sit. So as a student of the university, one thing I've realized is that we need to have like a shelter or a shelf there where students, if it's raining, we can go there and then maybe wait till the rain stops, or maybe if you're not feeling well, there are maybe 2 or 3 chairs there that we can sit on. That will help us. That is one problem I have.
So you are talking about you walking from Cal to Sandwich Lecture Theatre, and you want to take a rest in between that distance? Sort of.
Not necessarily a rest, but I'm talking of, for instance, when it is raining.
Get an umbrella. Get a raincoat. What about that?
Thank you, okay. It is true we can get a raincoat or an umbrella, but sometimes it rains without, and we don't even know it's going to rain. It doesn't seem like it's going to rain. We are not prepared.
Okay. So, in the rainy season, you always have to keep an umbrella in your bag.
Okay.
It's very important. So what you see is that because you think the pavement is good, but you wish there was a sitting place and not a pavement. If I get your... In addition to the pavement, you need places where you can sit in between lecture theatres.
Yes.
I see. All right. What is the role of the Vice President of SRC?
Thank you, the Chair, for the first thing. The role of the Vice President of the SRC is to assist the President in performing his duties, and also in case there is a resignation, death, or dismissal or anything on the part of the President, the Vice President will have to take the position of the President and then act as the President. And also, it is the Vice President the Vice President is also an ex officio member of all subcommittees of the SRC.
Why didn't you go in for the presidency? So that he would become your vice.
Thank you, the Chair, for the question. I think I didn't go for the presidency because, first of all, before you even make up the decision to take the position of the SRC presidency, you need to consult people because you cannot sit in your room and make the sole decision of you going for the SRC president. And then with consulting other people, realize that it would be the best idea if it would be a very good idea if I rather join hands with another person that is also good, and then I feel like it would be better if I join somebody and then we vie for them.
Did the idea ever cross your mind? Did you ever think about it?
Vying for the presidency? No, really.
Okay. Your CGPA is not bad, but I wish you would concentrate on your books and forget about this. What would you say to that?
Thank you, the Chair. I think in this world where we find ourselves, academics should be one part of your life, and then your other curricular activities should also be one part of your life. So in as much as I'm supposed to concentrate on my books, I think taking other positions and also building up myself for the future wouldn't be a bad thing. That's all.
I know you like acting, so maybe you act before you go. Today we've moved from singing to acting. You know why I didn't look at your CV first, Desmond?
No, the chair.
I can't read. Oh, it's mine. There are. I can't. The printing, I can't really. So I'm finding it very difficult to read. But again, you also did not provide for personal data. So I'm tempted to ask you whether you are also a Ghanaian.
Yes, please, the chair.
Very before date of birth.
2nd May 2000.
And you, Desmond.
It's May 1995.
May as well.
4th May, yes, please.
95. How did you meet Vero?
I first met Vero when she came to level 100 in Barco Hall. I was visiting a friend in Barco Hall when I saw her with a group of other colleagues, and a friend introduced her to me as this is Vero. She's one of the students partaking in the Miss Obasima Barco Hall. That was when I first met her.
So how many years ago was this?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Are you in a relationship?
No, please.
Are you sure?
Yes, please, the chair.
Now tell me about what you did as a counselor. I can barely read it. You did something as a counselor for Scripture Union?
Scripture Union. Yes,
Tell us about that.
Thank you very much, the chair. So the Scripture Union, I was responsible for, together with other counselors, we were responsible for counseling students who had needs. And in my tenure, I had just one student to counsel. She complained of not having interest to continue with school. So I brought her, I counseled her, told her that this is an avenue for her to groom herself, even if she does not have the interest. It is just prudent she goes through, and that there was going to be a time she was going to be very glad she ever took the step to go to school. And I also introduced her to her hall master, who also continued with nurturing her.
Apart from your roles in, as a counselor, outreach, okay, electoral commissioner, but you never played any role in the halls? Which hall are you affiliated to?
Currently, I'm an affiliate of the SRC Hall.
And before
that, I was in Ogwa Hall. For Ogwa Hall, I was part of the handball team. But then during one of our training sessions, I had an hamstring injury, so I had to withdraw from the team. So
that was level
100.
So since level 100, you never joined any committee that you not use your hand?
My focus was on the faculty of arts.
On the faculty.
Yes, please.
I see. Your referees, you started with one font, Times New Roman, I guess. And then the third one, you changed the font and the font style altogether. Why was that? Lawyer something.
I used one font. I think it must be an error. I did not see it because I remember using one font for all.
And I put it to you that there is an error here.
It's one of it.
You have different font sizes for the referees. Tell me one problem, not sanitary part, that you have seen and you think you will be able to solve that problem in UCC.
One problem that I have seen is the fact that when you look at the available halls, the traditional halls we have on campus, the number of students we are getting every year.
Pause. Please, there's too much noise here, please. PDF, there's too much noise coming from the back. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. So, as I was saying, the issue I identified has to do with accommodation. We have traditional halls on campus, but it is the case that every year the number of students that gets admitted to the first year is increasing, and that accommodation on campus, apart from the hostels, the hostels we have are not increasing. So I think it is very prudent if we engage in the building of more hostels to accommodate the increasing number of students that get admitted into the university every year. That is one issue that I have identified, and I'm hoping that together with management, it can be resolved.
I was going to ask you, how are you going to facilitate that? Because it's a problem. I said the problem, and then how you would try to solve it. So you have identified a good problem. How do you think you facilitate the solution to that problem?
The chair, at one of my seminars or conferences I attended where the VC spoke, he did mention that there is the case that we have accommodation issues, and it is one thing that they are hoping to work on. And he posited to the delegates present that they should come on board and then help the university in getting an accommodation. So I believe it is just prudent for the SRC to work together with the dean, the vice chancellor, for the land that the university has, I believe behind the new administration block, and then the stretch, the land close to the SRC hall. Those are available land that the hostels can be built on to accommodate the increasing number of students.
If students are asked to pay an amount of money, as part of their fees, they should pay something extra to facilitate the building of hostels. What do you think their reactions will be?
I am a student, and for me, I'm not sure I would accept it, because I believe that the students every year pays dues, and if we are apportioning dues for projects, accommodation is one thing that is really affecting us, and if it's affecting us, there's a need that we also portion money to help to solve that issue from the SRC dues.
You donated food to a community in Ashiama.
That's true.
Where did you get that?
The funds.
Where did you, yes, to do that?
I was in my final year during my first degree, and from my class, I wrote on the class platform asking for donations. I wrote to individuals I know who were well doing, asking for donations, and other people from my church also joined me. We all brought funds together, and we partook in it.
My last but one question. What is LSU or LSUD?
LSU.
Or LSU DNA? Okay, let's start with this. What is LSU? I'm reading from
LSU is the Law Students Union.
Okay. So if you were a nominee,
yes.
Did you win?
No, please.
So why do you bring it here?
I stated that I was a nominee.
And then superannuation hall.
Yes.
DNA. What is DNA? D9
and
Awards
Awards
9. That one too, you didn't win.
No.
Gentleman of
But
the
is
year.
that if they nominated you and you didn't win, is that an achievement?
It means you lost.
No, the chair, I believe just by the mere fact that you get nominated.
No. That is not an achievement.
You should do something before you get recognized.
No.
And I think I did something that was worth deserving. That was why I was recognized and nominated.
You don't have anything to show for the recognition. The fact that you attempted to be president and you never became president does not make you president. You put the project achievements and award. So the fact that you were nominated means it's an achievement. Desmond.
The chair.
No, call me.
Okay.
I nominate you or achieve no go.
Okay.
Naga auto okay.
Oh,
that be ya feel naga.
Okay.
See, if you talk about awards and achievements, there should be something to represent it. There should be the evidence that, oh, I was the best amongst the lost. If not, we all went to school. So even if I became last but one in my class, it's an achievement. So I'll put it on my CV that, oh, in my class I was last but one. I wasn't last. But we usually will talk about the outstanding. Okay? So I think those two should go.
So my
Yes,
last question to you, you have been the president of National Union of Presby Students, president of Health and Environmental Consciousness Club, etc. Why do you think you deserve to be the SRC president for University of Cape Coast?
Thank you very much, the Chair. The Chair, all these positions that you've mentioned are positions that have groomed me right from my primary school where I served as the senior prefect, moving up the ladder. These are positions that have groomed me and given me the exposure that is necessary in my furthering of my leadership skills. So I believe that the SRC position is a developmental phase for me to be able to come here and then bring on board these skills that I've acquired and to also help me, just like I was groomed, to also groom individuals that can also mount leadership platforms and help people achieve their basic rights.
In 2021, where were you?
In
2021 September, were you a student?
September 2021. Yes, I was a student.
You were a student.
Yes.
Where?
Here at the University of Cape Coast.
And then you doubled as a general manager?
Yes, I was doubled as a general manager, but I resigned in February 20.
You did what?
I resigned in February.
Before you came to school?
Before I came to school.
So you were not
during our time, there was a strike action by the lecturers, so we were not immediately, or we did not immediately report to campus after we gained admission in September 2021. We had to wait till 2022 February after the strike action was called or before we came to school.
So you resigned from JD Trust before you came to school?
Yes, the Chair.
I may come back.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Who should I start with? Who should I start with?
Chair, please start with him.
I should start with him. Okay. Thank you, Vero. Oh, he says I should begin with you. So, unfortunately, your CV is not numbered, so there are no page numbers. But I see you've done a remarkable job gathering enough experience. You worked at SEGRAD.
Yes, the Chair.
And then you served as a peer facilitator, educating students on issues of sexual harassment.
Yes, the Chair.
During your time, what could you say was the most prevalent form of sexual harassment?
Most prevalent among students?
Among students, yes.
I believe from the issues I received, it was such that some students were being molested, especially the female students, by being sexually molested by the male students. And to say that sometimes the student comes to report and the situation is that she went to visit the male students and the male students decided to take advantage of her. So nothing happened, but she thought she was sexually harassed. So she came to make reports. And that was one thing that was, every student, almost every female student that came to report.
So what do you think we can do to solve that problem?
I think what SEGRAD is doing is very noteworthy. SEGRAD is making sure that every year we get to educate students on where to report sexual harassment and also to educate students to know that if you should engage in anything sexual harassment where you get reported, you will face the consequences. And I think SEGRAD is doing a lot of work. And what we should do is to empower SEGRAD the more, to do this not only during orientation, but then to also do it during the second semester where halls are having their general gatherings. SEGRAD should be given the opportunity to still go and speak to students in their various halls and at symposiums and the like.
Do you think we should include topics on sexual harassment as part of our core curriculum or liberal courses? Because from what you're saying, it could possibly mean that a number of the male students do not even know that what they do constitutes to sexual harassment.
I believe there's a course like that.
Okay.
Sexual harassment, a liberal course.
Okay.
Sexual and domestic violence.
Okay.
So I think it's a course for all level 100 students. the level 100 students, there are some level 100 students that get that course. So I think it will be prudent if we open it up to all the students, not just some section of the students who get to be chosen.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Again, in your CV, I see you have written Sogasco in a sentence format. You've written organizer, Sogasco Touching Lives Club. But you wrote the Sogasco, which is supposed to be an acronym in a sentence format. You didn't pay attention. And then second, how do you write second? Second, two, and then N and D.
N and D.
How is it supposed to be written?
The two and the N and D at the top.
So the N and D should be superscripts.
Yes.
You said you are proficient in Microsoft Office and Word, but all your numbered letters are wrongly written. I think helped the team to a fourth place. The T and H are on the same line. Second, the N and D are on the same line in a number of instances. So when I got to your skills, I was wondering if you're actually proficient in your skills. So under member handball team, Sogakope SHS, you helped the team to a fourth place and finished at the 2015 South Tong Interzonal School Sports Competition. And then member handball team, Kwame Nkrumah House, Sogakope, helped the team to a second place. Second was written wrongly, fourth was also written wrongly. Anyway, now, you were an intern. What sort of intern were you at Trinity Community Hospital in Ashaban?
Thank you very much, Chair. With Trinity Community Hospital, I was the general administrative intern. I was responsible for helping the senior administrator in the general management of the hospital. And the position she made me work in was to be at the front desk, not always. And she made sure I was at the front desk. And new clients who came to the hospital, I was responsible for ushering them to where they were going. If it was to the pharmacy, I was responsible for directing the person to the pharmacy, and I was responsible for taking their details before they proceed to.
So there you are applying your communication studies skills. And after gaining the experience,